Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. A family man can rock your world. Ladies, look, let's be real. Let's be adults on this joint, right? We know a big reason that you might reject that good man who might make a good family man, be a good father, be a provider, protector, do all the stuff that you want, right? Socially in a man. Biggest reason you reject him is you don't get your vagina tingling. Let's just be real. He ain't turning you on sexually, right? Indeed, I'm going to tell you what. When I first came out with my book, Nice Guys and Players, my primary buyers, at least for me directly, were women. Let me say again, were women. And, at first I ain't think women be interested, but then I noticed, and I was able to develop a very simple sales pitch. I would say Nice Guys and Players was about that man, because I said to women, I said, yeah, you want that man who's a good husband and does all the good stuff, but you also want him to have those player skills and be able to turn you on sexually. And I say the whole point of the book is to get a man to the point he can satisfy you on both those levels. That's the whole essence of Nice Guys and Players. Indeed, a friend of mine, fellow author, who had like a little book stand for a minute, he said he sold copies of the book to several women, and they said they felt like it was more for them, right? Because you basically want all the stuff. And y'all know it. Every woman probably got about 3 or 4 guys in their circle who they know would make good husbands. The guys just don't turn them on. And you know what's interesting? It's not always because the guy is physically unappealing. That's the irony of it. I've talked to a lot of women, and they'll say they know some guys, and they're like, they'd be like, Rom, I just can't feel anything for him. He's a very good man. Very good man. I know he just don't turn me on. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said, it's not necessarily physical. It can be, but one thing I notice about y'all, if a guy's not physically appealing to you on any level, y'all don't even try to be friends with him. That's hard for a guy if he's not some type of appealing to you, right? But let's be real. The society we live in, on a cultural level, tends to separate the sexually appealing guy, the guy who can rock your world, for lack of a better term, the bad boy, from the nice guy who's a good man and do all that stuff. And what happens is, and this is more of a cultural thing, psychologically, you're thinking when that guy shows that he's a good man, he's nice, he ain't trying to argue with you, he's being supportive. Psychologically, you ain't thinking he's on that sexual tip. Because the thing about the bad boy, he'll say and do stuff to get you turned on sexually. And like I say, it's more of a cultural thing because, your natural biology is one thing, but culture affects a lot. And the reality is many of you are sexually repressed. So you need that guy who know the keys to open up that repression, open the door, so to speak. And that's usually the bad boy, right? See, the family man's nice and polite and everything, right? He's polite. He don't do that stuff. He's respectful and all of that. He don't talk dirty. And that's just how it is normally. Unfortunately, thousands of books has been read probably 6-figure times, well over 100,000 times, probably even 1 million times, right? Thing is, it's still a blip in the ocean. It's still a drop in the ocean, so it hasn't reached overall culture yet where it's changing the culture of men, right? And the perception that women have of men, right? So when you see that family man, you might feel like he'll be a good family man, but what a lot of women do, they'll deal with him, but then get that person on the side who can still turn them on sexually. But see, here's the thing. If you open up that family man could probably rock your world. And I'm gonna tell you why. A true family man, he still wants to have sex. He still wants to have sex. He ain't get into, well, most men ain't gonna get into some family, get married and stuff, and just sit around, don't touch you. Notice I said most. Unfortunately, there are cases where some men will. But the average guy who got all those skills, he wants sex. That's why he being nice to you and stuff, but trust me, your butt dunk, breasts, sweet looking lips, even your feet probably turning him on. Thing is, he could possibly rock your world. Because I've actually known some women who, they got with that nice guy, that family man, and they always say the same thing. When they just let it happen, try to put their preconceived notions to the side and just let things happen. I've known plenty of women. They be like, Ron, he rocked my world. I know this one dude, right? This one woman, right? And I used to call this nice guy who was trying to get with her Elmo. In fact, I call everybody's boyfriend or husband Elmo if they don't want to tell me his name, right? And I remember she said to me, yeah, Ron, Elmo got skills. See, one thing about a man who's really into you, or who's truly into you, if he has sex with you, he ain't about getting himself off. See, one thing, and this is a reality even with the Mr. Goodbar types that I'll talk about, right? The biggest thing is they will turn y'all on sexually at first, but they ain't necessarily better in bed. Let me say that again. They can be, but they ain't necessarily good at bed. Their main thing is they just turn you on sexually first. And of course that's important. But the key, right? A family man can rock your world because a true family man is definitely into you. So he might, he might not have be able to push those buttons initially, but it's like a slow fire. He's the type, he's going to care enough to see what can he do. He's going to communicate. Seriously, he ain't going to be that type just throw you on the bed and just tear you up and just know what to do. He might not, like a good family man might not have that much sexual experience, whereas the bad boy, his count might be like, well, I'm going to tell you what, in this society, in this culture, if a man got over 20 women, had sex with over 20 women, he's in like the top 10%. But the average man might only have a few partners. But because of that, he might not be, he ain't going to have like all those skills right away. But because he cares about you, because he genuinely loves you, as long as you're communicating, he's more apt to try to satisfy you. He's more apt to take his time. He's more apt to say, hey, baby, what do you like? He's more apt to pay attention to your reaction. One thing about the Mr. Goodbars, they just trying to bust their nut, and they'll do that. They don't care. They got 5 other women, so they don't care about satisfying you. They get theirs and go. But the true family man, the true guy who's into you, he realizes, you know what, this might be it, so I need to focus on her. And then, as long as you open up, see, the key is you opening up. You opening up, you getting out of your head, and that dude will probably rock your world. And then the reality is, you get some family men who might have been in that player lifestyle and they just changed up for whatever reason. They'll rock your world, In fact, I've known some women, they'd say, yeah, that guy look like a nerd, but they were like, he was good. Because he's going to be more into it. He's more focused. So he can rock your world. So, and keep that in mind. And like, if y'all get together and it doesn't work, y'all work on communicate. Just communicate. Right? Communicate. So anyway, right? That family, man, because I know y'all want him. But I know y'all got to holler. Hey, he could probably do both. So anyway, that's all I got for today, ladies. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.